The fairy tale was supposed to continue. Just days ago, Alex Eala was the darling of the tennis world, stunning giants and capturing hearts with her fearless run at the Berlin Open. She had toppled world number 2 Elena Rybakina and world number 8 Elina Svitolina, proving that she belonged among the sport's elite. The momentum was undeniable. The confidence was sky high. Wimbledon was just around the corner, and the Filipina sensation was ready to make history. But then, the fairy tale stopped. In the opening round of the WTA 500 Bad Homburg Open, Eala faced a familiar and formidable foe, Elise Mertens of Belgium, a veteran who had beaten her twice before, both times in straight sets. The match was a harsh reality check. Eala, who had been so electrifying in Berlin, looked like a different player. She was a step slower, a little less sharp, and unable to sustain the intensity that had fueled her remarkable charge. The final score was 6-3, 6-3, and it sent a clear message. The road to Wimbledon is paved with challenges, and the path is never easy. Today on TopSpin, we are breaking down the shocking defeat, what it means for her Wimbledon dream, and why Elise Mertens has just fired the ultimate warning shot. For more coverage in tennis, subscribe and hit the notification bell. To understand the Bad Homburg defeat, you have to look at what came before it. Alex Eala had just completed one of the most grueling stretches of her young career. She had won the Birmingham Open title, her second WTA singles crown, just 2 weeks prior. She had traveled to Berlin and embarked on a remarkable run to the semifinals of the WTA 500 event, a performance that captured the imagination of the tennis world. In Berlin, she had been nothing short of spectacular. She defeated world number 2 Elena Rybakina in straight sets, 7-5, 6-4. She followed that up with a clinical victory over world number 8 Elina Svitolina, 6-3, 6-4. She was playing with a freedom and confidence that made her one of the most talked-about players on the tour. The pressure was immense, but she was embracing it. She was on a fairy tale run. The question on everyone's mind was whether she could maintain that level. The emotional and physical toll of such a run cannot be overstated. Eala had been competing at the highest level for weeks, playing multiple matches, traveling between cities, and dealing with the immense pressure of representing a nation of 115 million people. Her body was fatigued, her mind was exhausted, and despite her best efforts, the cracks were beginning to show. Former players and analysts had repeatedly warned that managing energy levels is crucial before a Grand Slam. One tennis legend even suggested that Eala should consider taking a break following her emotionally and physically draining Berlin campaign, arguing that recovery could prove just as important as match play before Wimbledon. Those concerns seemed to surface in Bad Homburg. The match against Mertens was Eala's first singles match after her Berlin heroics. She arrived in Bad Homburg ranked world number 30, a career-high ranking that reflected her incredible progress. She had secured a Wimbledon seeding and was riding a wave of momentum, but it was also her fourth grass court event of the season, and the accumulated wear and tear from a demanding stretch of matches was beginning to take its toll. The fairy tale, it seemed, was about to face its sternest test. Eala's recent schedule had been relentless, from the Birmingham Open where she battled through 5 matches to claim the title, to the Berlin Open where she played 4 more high-intensity matches. She had spent more time on court in the past 2 weeks than most players do in a month. The travel, the media obligations, the pressure of being the center of attention, it all adds up, and when she stepped onto the court in Bad Homburg, she was not at 100%. She tried to summon the energy, to dig deep, but the tank was nearly empty. The fairy tale, for a moment, had to pause. The opponent standing in Eala's way was Elise Mertens. The 30-year-old Belgian veteran, ranked number 26 in the world, is a seasoned campaigner with a wealth of experience. She has been in the top 20 for years, knows how to win on grass, and had already defeated Eala twice before. Their first meeting was the 2023 Monastir ITF event in Tunisia, a hardcourt tournament where Mertens won 7-5, 6-0. Their second meeting was earlier this year at the Madrid Open on clay, where Mertens cruised to a 6-2, 6-1 victory. Mertens is a gatekeeper, a player who can stop the momentum of rising stars. On grass, she is particularly dangerous, as she proved in Bad Homburg. The match began with a glimmer of hope for Eala. She came out with the same aggression that had defined her in Berlin. She broke Mertens' serve in the 4th game and raced to a 3-1 lead. The start hinted at another inspired performance and briefly rekindled memories of her giant-killing exploits from the previous week. But then, everything changed. The Belgian, a former doubles world number 1, steadily absorbed Eala's early pressure before turning the match on its head. She unleashed thundering serves, punished short balls from both wings, and repeatedly charged the net with confidence and precision. She rattled off 5 consecutive games to steal the first set, 6-3, silencing the growing hopes of an upset. The momentum shift was dramatic and complete. The second set was more of the same. Mertens maintained her momentum, surging to a quick 3-0 lead with powerful serving before Eala clawed one back to make it 3-1, but Mertens pushed at it again to 4-1. Though Eala showed flashes of her best, the Belgian veteran proved too strong. She dominated from the baseline, dictating play with her powerful ground strokes and precise serving. Mertens finished with 10 aces compared to just 2 from Eala. While both players struggled at times with double faults, Mertens' superior shot selection, court positioning, and tactical discipline allowed her to stay firmly in command. The final score was 6-3, 6-3, and Mertens had improved her head-to-head record against Eala to 3-0. The victory was a statement, a warning shot to the rest of the tour that Mertens is a force to be reckoned with on grass. With the win, Mertens advanced to face former world number 1 and 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka. Mertens' performance was a masterclass in efficiency and experience. She didn't try to out-hit Eala, she out-thought her. She used her slice to keep the ball low, forcing Eala to bend and hit up. She mixed her serves effectively, keeping Eala guessing. She stepped into the court on short balls, finishing points with clean volleys. It was a performance that showcased everything that makes Mertens such a dangerous opponent on grass. For Eala, it was a painful lesson in what it takes to compete at the highest level. The fairy tale had been stopped, but the learning had just begun.
The defeat in Bad Homburg is a setback, but it is not the end of the story. In fact, it could be the warning shot that Eala needs. The loss serves as a reminder that the challenges will only get harder. It highlights the importance of managing energy levels and staying mentally sharp. Wimbledon is just a week away, and Eala needs to be at her best. The time for fairy tales is over. It is time for results. The defeat to Mertens is also a warning to the rest of the tour. It shows that Eala is human. She can be beaten. She can be exposed. The Eala effect is real, but it is not a guarantee of victory. Eala is now a seeded player at Wimbledon, number 29, but that also makes her a target. Other players will be looking to take her down. She will need to be ready. The loss in Bad Homburg is not a disaster, it is a learning experience. Eala will use it as motivation. She will work on her weaknesses. She will come back stronger. The dream is not over, it is just beginning. The Wimbledon seed is secure. The journey continues, but the fairy tale, at least for now, has stopped. What does this loss mean for Eala's Wimbledon preparation? It means she has a clear picture of what needs work. Her serve, which had been a weapon in Berlin, was less effective against Mertens. She will need to work on its consistency and placement. Her movement, which had been so sharp, was a step slow. She will need to focus on her footwork and conditioning. Her mental game, which had been so strong, was tested and found wanting. She will need to find ways to stay focused and composed under pressure. The loss also means Eala has extra time to rest and prepare. She is out of the Bad Homburg Open, which means she can focus entirely on Wimbledon. She can practice, recover, and arrive at the All-England Club fresh and ready. Sometimes a loss can be a blessing in disguise. It can be a wake-up call. And for Eala, this loss might just be that call. The tennis world has seen this pattern before. A young player bursts onto the scene, enjoys a stunning string of victories, and then hits a wall. The key is how they respond. Do they let the loss define them, or do they use it as fuel for the next chapter? Eala has already proven that she has the mental toughness to overcome adversity. She has faced injuries, controversies, and the weight of a nation. She has always come back stronger. There is no reason to believe this time will be different. The loss to Mertens is a bump in the road, not a roadblock. The journey to the top is never linear. There are always setbacks, but champions find a way to turn setbacks into comebacks. And Alex Eala is a champion.
Let us break down the match tactically. What worked for Mertens and what didn't work for Eala. The answers provide a blueprint for Eala's future success. First, Mertens' serve. The Belgian was able to dominate with her serve, winning 76% of her first serve points and firing 10 aces. Her first serve percentage was high, consistently hitting 63% or more throughout the match. She controlled the tempo from the very first ball. Eala's serve, on the other hand, was less effective. She won only 52% of her first serve points, and her second serve was attackable. This was a stark contrast to her performance in Berlin, where her serve had been a weapon. Second, return of serve. Eala, who has one of the best return games on the WTA Tour, could not find her rhythm against Mertens. The Belgian's placement and variety were too much. Eala was unable to anticipate where the ball was going and often found herself hitting defensive shots. Mertens, on the other hand, was able to dictate play from the return, putting Eala on the back foot. Third, court positioning. Mertens played aggressively, stepping inside the baseline and taking the ball early. She did not give Eala time to set up. Eala, in contrast, was pushed behind the baseline, forced to defend rather than attack. The difference in court positioning was decisive. Mertens was the aggressor. Eala was the responder. Fourth, the mental game. Mertens was calm, composed, and focused. She did not let the early break affect her. She stuck to her game plan and executed it perfectly. Eala, in contrast, appeared frustrated. Her body language was negative. She was letting the mistakes affect her confidence. The mental battle was just as important as the physical one, and Mertens won it decisively. The lessons for Eala are clear. She needs to improve her first serve percentage. She needs to work on her return game. She needs to step inside the baseline and take the ball early. And she needs to stay mentally strong regardless of the score.
These are all things that can be worked on, and with Wimbledon just around the corner, she has the perfect opportunity to prove that she has learned from this defeat. The victory for Mertens was a clinical display of veteran savvy. She knew exactly how to exploit Eala's fatigue and expose the gaps in her game. It was a performance that showed why she has been a consistent top 20 player for so many years. For Eala, the defeat was a harsh but valuable lesson in the realities of the professional tour. The momentum that had carried her through Berlin had evaporated, and she had to deal with the disappointment of a first-round exit. But the tournament is not over. She will regroup, refocus, and prepare for the challenge ahead.
Let us zoom out. The Bad Homburg defeat is a small part of a much larger story. It is the story about the incredible growth of Alex Eala, a player who has achieved more in the past few months than most players achieve in a lifetime. She is a trailblazer, a symbol of hope for the Philippines, a testament to the power of perseverance and dedication. Her journey from a young girl in Manila to a WTA sensation has inspired millions. The loss to Mertens does not diminish what she has achieved. She has already done the impossible. She has beaten the best players in the world. She has made history, and she is only 21 years old. Eala's record against Mertens is now 0-3, but that is just one chapter in her story. Every great player has a rival who seems to have their number. The question is not whether she can beat Mertens. The question is whether she can learn from the defeats and come back stronger. The tennis world is watching, the Philippines is praying, and Alex Eala is ready for the next challenge. What comes next for Alex Eala? Wimbledon, the biggest tournament in the world, the stage she has been dreaming of since she was a little girl in Manila. She is seeded number 29, a historic achievement for a Filipino player. She will be protected from facing the top players until at least the third round. She has a chance to make a deep run. The loss to Mertens is a setback, but it is not a disaster. It is a wake-up call, a reminder that the journey to the top is never easy. But Alex Eala has never taken the easy path. She has always fought for everything she has achieved, and she will keep fighting. The fairy tale may have stopped in Bad Homburg, but the story is far from over. The best chapters are yet to be written. Alex Eala will be back. She will be stronger. She will be ready, and the tennis world will be watching. For more coverage in tennis, subscribe and hit the notification bell.